Hello, my name is Matthew,
And my name is Melissa.
and we're with the Tampa Hillsborough County Public Library. We're excited to present Learning a New Language with the library today. This is part of not only our Back to School series, but also Hispanic Heritage, because certainly Spanish is an available language on the different resources that we will be presenting today. So we're very happy to get going with this, and I think we can start with a shout out. What do you say, Melissa?
I think that sounds great. All right, take it away.
All right. So, in other words, I'm not just saying in other words, that's the title of this book. In other words, award-winning author Jhumpa Lahiri takes the jump and learns and writes a book in Italian. The book is a series of journal entries that meditate upon Lahiri's frustrations and joys while learning Italian and her growing desire to use that language only. It delves deeply into the author's relationship with languages, a very fascinating topic, as the American-raised daughter of Indian immigrants. Her Italian experiment is not the first time she's been caught between two linguistic worlds accepted by neither. Students of other languages will nod in recognition. So definitely check out that book through the library, and if it's not available, put a hold on it, and it'll be worth the wait.
Very nice. Thank you, Matthew. And I see already in the question section, some people are putting what languages they're looking to learn. We do have one person who is looking to learn Italian already,
There you
and a
go.
lot of really great languages. So I can't wait to talk with you guys more about what is available for you. Hopefully you'll come away with at least one new thing that you're inspired to try, hopefully more, as well as some motivation and inspiration. So today we're going to take a look at books first, traditional or ebook. We're also going to look at what we can watch and listen to as well. We'll take a look at some classes and tutorials that are available for you guys through your wonderful library card. And if we have time, of course, we'll look at some additional resources. So I'm going to take my camera off so that you guys can focus on the screen. All right, everyone? See you later. All right, so usually you're just looking for probably one language in particular. So looking for a series of books might not always make the most sense, but we do have a few series in our library that have a host of different languages available for you. I put them on the screen for you. Pimsleur Language Program, Simon & Schuster's Pimsleur, In Flight, Teach Yourself book, and believe it or not, for dummies. I'm not insulting anyone here. That's just a series that we happen to have a lot of different languages for. So I'm going to take you to the website and we'll take a look at that first. Of course, you can always just put on hcplc.org, you can just put the language that you're trying to learn. Of course, that's always available for you guys, believe it or not. I know, not rocket science here. But let's take a look, for example, at a series. So let's see, for example, Pimsleur, which is one of the more popular language learning series that we have available here. And that will bring up a lot of different things for you guys all to take a look at. Now, probably you're thinking, well, I have one specific language that I have in mind. How does that really help me? It does help you still, believe it or not, because another interesting thing I want you all to take note of and to experiment when you leave the session today, if you're not doing anything else with your Friday, maybe you can experiment. You guys are going to take a look at the subjects, okay? So you can do a subject search. And of course, you don't have to do Spanish language dash self-instruction. You can just replace it with your own language. But when you click on something in our catalog, on the side, you're going to see that it comes up with some subject headings. And I particularly like the self-instruction headings because we are all here because we, perhaps don't have a teacher. And so you can click on these and see what else is available for you. And of course, you can just replace the language with the other thing that you want to do. So that's something that you guys can do in the catalog. And you'll definitely find something or some things that are suited to you. We have a lot of things available for everyone. Okay, so that is basically how you can search for series and how you can use the subject search as well. And now do remember, of course, you can always just do a keyword search for, someone said Korean in the chat, so I'm just gonna put in Korean right here. And take a look and see what subject headings you have got. Or you can start with a book that you already know of, and if you find it in our catalog, you can see what other subject headings are available for you. So here we have Korean language, self-study, and teaching. That one we only have one, but I promise you guys, you'll find a lot of other things. You might also find the series that include the title. So that's something that hopefully you find a little bit interesting. In Flight, that's another thing that if you remember on the PowerPoint, I did mention is a series that is quite popular. All right, so let's move on a little bit more. Hopefully you have at least one new idea of how to use our catalog for language learning. Let's move on to online watching, reading, and listening. And I do have a bombshell I'm going to drop on you guys that I hope you really, really love and enjoy. Okay, so we're going to start off with Canopy. It's a film streaming service, and we have access to a supplier called The Great Sources. You can learn Spanish, French, there's Latin 101, there's Greek 101, a lot of things like that. So I'm going to show you how to do that on Canopy. If you want to go to Canopy, I already have it open here, but if you just were to go to Canopy, you could just find it through Learning and Research, see all resources, okay, and you guys would find Canopy, but I already have it open here for us. Now, one thing you'll notice is that you do have 10 movies every month to watch on Canopy, but the great thing about the Great Courses supplier, and I know because I've been watching The Black Death, is that you can watch unlimited great course episodes to your heart's content. So it is wonderful for language learning. So let's see right here, the Great Courses. You guys will see that supplier right there. And here you guys will see in the humanities and science section is where you're going to find the languages. So for example, you have learning French here. If I were to keep scrolling, we'd see all the other languages, but just to show you guys, for example, how this would look. You have a bunch of different episodes that kind of take you through the grammar of things. And like I said, watching these episodes does not take away your 10 watching credits. So feel free to try and experiment with that. There are also other language learning courses in general that you guys can take a look at. If you just go to Browse and click on ESL and languages, you might find just some general inspiration and motivation to keep you guys going. Okay, so of course you can also find a multitude of international films. The subtitles are usually embedded there, but I'm going to show you guys a little trick that you can use to take away the subtitles in a low-tech way, as it were, so that you can watch it with the subtitles on or off to your heart content. So let's see, and I'll invite you guys, just some of you guys have already done this, but I'll invite you to put what sort of languages you are interested in watching or in learning, pardon my English. So let's see, you can find a lot of different movies. I like personally watching with classic cinema because sometimes they speak a little bit more slowly, and that way I can control what I'm learning a little bit more. So if you find a genre that you really like, or really on any page, but just go down. You guys can search by languages, and let's say you would like to learn Spanish, for example, and you'll find a lot of Spanish movies. Oh, a Spanish movie with Catherine Deneuve sounds right up my alley. So as I mentioned, the subtitles are embedded here, and in another one of our streaming services, Hoopla, which maybe you know or don't, there are many multilingual movies, but the subtitles are unfortunately embedded. Now, bear with me for a little second. I'm going to turn my camera on and show you what you guys can actually do if you want to watch these movies, but you don't necessarily want to see the subtitles. Just take a little bit of parchment paper. I'm not even joking. You can wrap it up as many times as you want and place it kind of around your screen so that you don't see it. And that way you can see the subtitles or not see the subtitles. And it's a very nice way to kind of watch those international movies with a language you're already quite familiar with and not have to see those embedded subtitles. So you're welcome for the parchment trick. It's not just for cookies. All right, let me share my screen again, turn my camera off. So that's basically Canopy. And Hoopla as well has a lot of audiobooks, books, and movies, again with the embedded subtitles, but you guys already know how to take care of that. That will support you in the learning and practice. You may have remembered that I talked already about the Pimsleur series that is very popular in our library system. You can get the audio components of Pimsleur on Hoopla for download. And that's important because in Hoopla, you can actually download the audio so that you don't have to stream it on your device. And I do want to give a special shout out to the series Innovative Language Learning. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at Hoopla. So you can browse by audiobooks. And of course, you guys, you will get through this from hcplc.org, and you can just look for the resources that start with H. You will find Hoopla. So you can do a search, Innovative Language Learning. And you guys will see all the different languages that are available here for you guys. Another really wonderful thing that will keep your motivation up as you learn languages is looking at music in different languages. And there's a lot of music available in different languages. So I see some people are saying that they want to learn Spanish and Finnish. Yep, there's one person who said that they wanted to learn Finnish. Just wanted to show you guys that you can actually find some Finnish music on there. A lot of Spanish music, but you will find that with the movies, it's similar. You will find so many things in a different series. I thought I wouldn't possibly find my favorite Spanish band here, Ella Baila Sola, which is perfect for language classrooms because they speak very slowly and clearly. And it is right here, as you can see, Ella Baila Sola. I recommend it for those of you guys who are looking to learn Spanish. All right, and of course, there are many different categories. You can search by category on that very page. I know it's a lot, but just remember, as long as you have a few different things that you want to explore, you're definitely on your way to further language learning success. Now, don't forget to put in any questions, you guys, while you have them. I know you're probably just thinking a whole bunch. We will have time to take a look at that. Okay, so next thing I want to do with you guys is tell you a little bit more about classes and tutorials. You do have two options. Mango is my #1 favorite. It's the #1 resource. It includes speaking practice. And they do have a really wonderful YouTube channel as well, believe it or not, where they go over some cultural notes. They have interviews with learners. They go over some nitty-gritty differences in the alphabet system. So check out Mango Languages YouTube as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the resource together. So same thing here. We're on HCPLC, and you guys can just find that resource by clicking M for Mango. But I actually already have it open for us so that we don't have to spend time doing that. All right, so this is Mango, and you can download it onto your mobile device. You can download the lessons so you don't have to stream them, or you can use it on a computer like me if you are a little bit more old-fashioned. Here you guys can see that I'm learning Russian. You guys can see that I have a daily review. They have a very smart and sophisticated system to show cards for review. And I'll just show you that really briefly. You can see the tutorial for everything. It's very, very user-friendly.
Do you remember how to say, not too bad?
Ничего.
Did I get it right? Yes or no? And if I always get it right, I can put a little trophy here. And the system is adaptive. It is smart. It takes me through all sorts of lessons. And most of the popular languages have specialty units. French has wine and cheese. Russian has slang and superstitions, apparently. And at the beginning of each unit, there are some goals. There is a tutorial. And I'll show you a little bit what the middle of a session looks like, shall we say.
Here's how you would say, goodbye.
До свидания.
I can record my voice. До свидания.
До свидания.
So I can change it where I have it in line.
До свидания.
And do things like
До
that.
свидания.
Literally means until we meet again. It is the most frequently used.
It has cultural notes, and this is the same for every language that we have available in Mango. And by the way, we have over 70 different languages available. So we have all of this. We have 3 different types of Greek, believe it or not. Religious Greek, that's good for Orthodox Christianity, ancient Greek, and modern Greek. We even have pirate. Of course, some languages have a little bit more than others, but the Spanish language is one of the many that are very, very complete here. When you click on Explore, if Explore is available for the language that you want, there are actually some interactive movies that you can watch, and you can decide what level of subtitles, what language and subtitles, what sort of support you want in there. So it is just really wonderful. I can't recommend this enough. And the way that they go through with it is they teach you different parts of vocabulary at different times so that you won't learn all the days of the language at the same time, for example, and you won't get them all mixed up. So you'll learn different categories in a way that your brain can really, really categorize. So I recommend Mango so much. And then, of course, I'm also going to talk a little bit about Universal Class. It only has English language classes, but it does have some primers on particular cultures like Japanese, French, and Chinese culture. I don't see that anyone in here is interested in Japanese, French, or Chinese. If there is someone who is interested, oh, there is one person who's interested in learning Chinese. So I'm going to show this briefly. And I'll just show it anyway because you guys, there are so many classes available on Universal Class. So again, if you wanted to get to Universal Class, you would just go to Learning and Research from hcplc.org, click on U, and you'd get to Universal Class. So in Universal Class, you do have to make, of course, you need your library card, and you do need to register and make a quick profile before you start taking classes. But once you do, you can see classes I'm taking. So I'm taking Chinese Cultural Studies 101. It's like, I guess you guys would want to take Chinese. You can enter the course and you can kind of preview it. You can see the syllabus and information like that. Some of these have tests and quizzes available. I don't believe any of the cultural ones do, but there are a lot of other classes you can take here, including soap making, haunted houses, cryptozoology, a lot of ESL classes specifically, and every class does have a class forum. So if you are interested in the culture of one of these places to motivate you to continue learning, you can go to the class forum and introduce yourself. And in your privacy settings, you can actually control who can see your information, what information you want to give out to your classmates. So it's actually, it feels very, very safe. And I would recommend just trying that. If you are interested in one of these languages, Japanese, French, or Chinese, they do have those cultural elements. There is, by the way, I didn't put it in here, but there is a Spanish culture one as well, which if you're interested in Spanish and you want to learn about the culture of the country of Spain, you can actually go to that one as well. Right, I don't see any questions coming in so far. Feel free, you guys. I know it's a lot being thrown at you, but hopefully you do have some comments or some questions. We'd love to go over that in just a few minutes. The last thing maybe I want to look at before we go to the questions that we have is a language learning blog on the Hillsborough Literacy Council's website. Hillsborough Literacy Council is a nonprofit volunteer-based organization that used the library meeting rooms to tutor people who spoke a different language to learn to speak in English. And definitely consider volunteering with us when the services restart. It is a great way to meet language learners and become immersed in kind of the sport of language learning, because language learning is a sport. The more you practice it, the more different techniques you'll learn, the more comfortable you'll be. But anyway, this blog, and I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now, is learning to read with a foreign language. I see it is already in there, but it's perfect. So you guys can see some resources from the library explained a little bit more. You guys can also see some resources that are not from the library, but are from trusted sources and some techniques. I specifically recommend the flashcard learning system that is in this blog. So you guys have a lot of different things that you can do. A lot of different things that I know you are going to do after you finish this session on this lovely, and at least where I am, kind of sunny day. So for right now, I think it is about time to take some questions if we do have any. So Matthew, do you see anyone dropping things in there?
Just one so far that we can probably address, which has to do with I guess basically the question is about learning a language, reading, writing, and speaking, if it's best to do all three at once, or if there's like a certain order that you're supposed to do it in.
Well, let's say that you are, for example, learning a language that doesn't have the alphabet in common, right? Opinions a little bit divided on what you want to do first. It depends on your priority. For example, when I was learning Japanese, it was much easier for me to learn the speaking portion of it because I was going to be speaking with people. And because the speaking portion of it, it's very similar to Spanish, the sounds that are made. So it made sense for me to start with Japanese at that time. Now, however, if you know that you're not going to be going to that country anytime soon, and you have a lot more resources and a lot more things you want to do, perhaps online and interacting with comments on different websites or interacting with text, it might make more sense for you to start with reading. Whatever you're interested in and whatever's going to be most useful for you is going to be the most motivating thing. It's like when you're learning to read. Whatever motivates you is going to up your ability level, your ability to concentrate and your ability to digest. So I would say take a good long look at what you want to learn, and whatever you're most motivated with is probably what you're going to be most successful with.
All right, we do have another question. I don't know if you want to join me on screen, Melissa.
Oh, sure.
Let's see. Oh, actually, I don't think I know the answer to this, which is, are there language learning courses on lynda.com, which is another amazing site for the library? And actually, I know there's programming languages, like computer programming languages, but I'm not sure about foreign languages.
Well, from what I know, there are English vocabulary development and public speaking courses. So there are courses for learning to speak English, probably maybe everyone's native language here anyway. But as far as language learning, I don't believe so. Don't quote me on that though, and definitely check it out and let us know if you do find something, okay?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I think probably what Melissa's saying is probably right. I do see a video, a very short video about how to memorize words in foreign languages. So there might be some sort of supplemental type videos that you can look at there. But it actually is related to another question that we have here, which is that are any of the resources you mentioned today do they have mobile apps? Like, for example, I know Lynda does have a mobile device app both for tablets and phones, and also Roku and Apple TV and things like that. What about some of the other resources you mentioned?
So Mango, thank you for that question, guys. It's an excellent question. Mango does have an app, so you guys can get it on your tablet or you can get it on your mobile device, and that's where you could actually download the lessons instead of having to stream the lessons. And that's been a very popular option for some of the library customers that I know. Hoopla, it's the same thing, that you guys can also get that app. And Overdrive, we haven't mentioned it yet. Overdrive is the ebook, one of the ebook resources that we have. Overdrive and Libby does also have an app that you guys can use. Universal Class, however, does not have an app. That one, you would just have to go through the library.
That's right. Go through the computer the old-fashioned way. That's right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much, everybody, for your questions today. We do have some contact information here on the screen, 813-273-3652 to call the library. As you know, we are available for curbside pickup, so a lot of those resources that you can check out, you can actually check them out and get access to them, as well as doing all the wonderful online resources that we did, that we showed you today. And then that is our contact form, htplc.org/contact. Gets you other ways to get in touch with us, including our Ask a Librarian service. And again, those htplc.org/back-to-school or /Hispanic Heritage to see all the really interesting events that we have coming up. We have our first online meetup coming up for next week for parents that Melissa will be a part of as well, and me. And we have great author events coming up and so on. So please check those out. And I will say thank you, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Thank you so much, all of you. Good luck motivating yourselves. Good luck exploring some of the resources we have. And I hope next time we meet, you guys can type something in the language that you're learning.
That's right. But for now, we'll just have to say bon soirée.
Adios, hasta luego.
All right. Happy language learning, everybody. Goodbye.